Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Mono White Control. So yeah, if Wizards are not gonna ban any cards from Standard, the stupid Mono Red Fling deck is still all intact while we have to fight through all those Boros Tokens nonsense. Well, all we're gonna do is control lockdown everything. We're gonna make our opponent hate their life because they're making us hate trying to brew decks. So here's this deck that I've quote-unquote brewed. After I brewed this deck, I went online to look for deck lists and I actually found there's several deck lists that look a lot like it. So here's how this deck works. Early game, removal central. So many removal. 4 Elspeth Smite, 2 Lay Down Arm, 4 Get Lost, 2 Soul Partition. You got creatures, they're gone. So that's kind of the idea of early game. We've got 12 removals. They're all very, very efficient. They're not great at value, but they're very efficient in getting our opponent's creatures out of the board because a lot of times our opponent are going to sunk a bunch of power-ups into it. And then guess what? If they're gone, it doesn't matter if they get mapped. It doesn't matter if they get play it again. They're dead, right? All of their value cards are gone. So that's the idea of the early game. Then, for card draw, we got 4 Caretaker's Talent. Trust me when I say this card should, I would say, number 1 on the ban list should have been this card. Too good. So here's how Caretaker's Talent work. Whenever you create a token, on any turn you get to draw a card. It only triggers once, but don't let that fool you, right? That means that anytime you create a token, you draw a card on your turn, on your opponent's turn, and what that means is, well, Fountainport's creating a token, draws a card. Mirrex creating a token, draws a card. Someone get lost something you have, you create 2 map tokens, you draw a card. You always draw cards, regardless of whose turn it is, and that makes this card broken. Anytime I look at Caretaker's Talent, it's like I almost draw my entire deck out because I can have multiple Caretaker's Talent on board. If you get to draw 2-3 extra cards every turn, just imagine how fast you draw your deck, how good this card could be. So this card is broken. Broken AF. Then, of course, if our opponent is playing that stupid Boros Forge deck, well, I got something to answer that. Loran of the Third Path. Loran is, ETB, destroy an artifact or enchantment. Gonna be very useful. Couple that with Soul Partition. We can kind of exile our own Loran and play it again if we need more removal. Or we can just exile their Forge. They're on 5 or 6. Exile again, they're back to 0. And then we can aggro them out that way. Sort of, in some scenarios. So that's why Loran is one of the must-have in this deck. Then we also have 3 Metropolis Reformer. I've seen a lot of people play it. Metropolis Reformer is a very good card against aggro. Why? Because it gives you hexproof, so they cannot shock you, they cannot lightning strike you. A lot of people are actually not running lightning strike anymore, they're only running shock. Guess what? Shock is useless against this card. It's a 2-3. If they shock this, you gain 2 life, your opponent just cries because their burn card gave you life, which it doesn't even kill it, and they have to do more damage to it. Whenever damage is dealt to Metropolis Reformer, you gain damage life. So it gives you constant life source as well. If they want to pump everything into a giant flinging bird, you block with it, you gain all that life. They can fling it if they want, but that's not going to deal you any damage, right? You gain that life on the first attack, and then they fling it, you lose that life, and your life total didn't change, they lost their whole board. So Metropolis Reformer is definitely just a third turn stopper against all those stupid fling decks. Then we also have 3 temporary lockdown. If our opponent's Boros, lockdown will lock them down. And then we go to the actual win cons of the deck. So we have 2 Archangel Elspeth that will ultimately outvalue our opponent. I wish this was Wandering Emperor, but of course, beggars can't be choosers. Archangel Elspeth is a great card, but the Wandering Emperor was flash, and that would have made this deck a lot better. But it's rotated out, so that's all we're gonna have. I used to have 4 Archangels in a deck, but I ever since kind of changed that after I looked at a few deck lists. I think 2 Archangels is probably good enough. It's Legendary Planeswalker. You can't have multiple on the board. In addition to that, we did want to slot in Jeff Bezos here. He is a very good elk. Right, he's gonna give us a 4-mana 4/5, and but that body is Shieldred body, right? A Shieldred body is pretty strong. It doesn't die to a lot of things because it has 5 toughness. In addition to that, it is just value engine on steroids. If you have less life than your opponent, you gain 4 life. If you have less lands than your opponent, you get a treasure. If you have less creature than your opponent, you get a fish. And if you have less cards than your opponent in hand, you get a card draw. So Most of the scenario, you gain 4 life and you get a card draw. That is good enough. Some scenarios, you get 4 life and you get 2 fish. That's also pretty decent. If you can get all the values, not even counting the treasure, right? If it doesn't create a treasure in any way whatsoever, this card is still really good. But sometimes you're just kind of mana screwed and you get that extra treasure to help you ramp out. It's way better. So yeah, Beza's the Bounding Spring. It's a great card. Then going to 5 mana, and this is my super hidden tech in Season of the Burrows. I started with 4 seasons because that's the idea of this deck. And I had to cut down to 5, or cut the 5 drops down to 2 because it's a 5 drop. I can't really afford to play it and not die to aggro. So it's down to 2 now, but Season of Burrows is actually an insane card. A lot of times people think of it as just, you know, I get to exile opponent's permanents and they get to draw cards like Ablation, really old Onslaught sorcery. And sometimes they think I get to bring back a 3 mana value permanent, or 3 mana value or less permanent, and how good is that in most scenarios, right? Archangel Elspeth's ultimate brings them all back. This only brings 1 back, so how good is that? Well, I'm here to tell you this card is insane, way better than the 4 mana one, the Angel, that you can cast 3 CMC or lower cards from your graveyard once per turn. That card is okay. This card is insane for this deck. Think about what Season of Burrow can bring back. If I bring back Metropolis Reformer, GG. If they don't have an exile effect, that they're not going to be able to target me, and I'm going to constantly gain life from their attacks. So for one, Season of Burrow can do just that. And in addition to that, if your opponent is some form of control and they feel to ruin your Mirrex, thinking that, oh, this is finally gone, this can bring back Mirrex. And what? Guess what? That season of Mirrex, it will be the season of Mirrex Mites, because that Mirrex will have an indestructible counter on it. Can you imagine an indestructible Mirrex? Our opponent can't kill it, and we'll keep making mites. And against control decks that can't kill a Mirrex, that constantly make mites, they will get tempo out. Flood it out, whatever you want to say. They will lose those kind of games. So yeah, Season of Burrow is an insane card. Of course, for Sunfall to get rid of any white board while having, you know, Sunfall tokens to come back and kill our opponents with. Incubator tokens is also a token. So whenever you Sunfall, Caretaker's Talent is going to draw you a card. That's insane. And then finally, the curved top, we have a 6 mana card in the Eternal Wanderer. Not the Wandering Emperor, but the Eternal Wanderer. Same Planeswalker, a lot less good of an ability. So +1, we get to temporarily phase out an artifact or creature. You know, we can keep doing that constantly, and our opponent can keep phasing out one big threat. We also have a +0 for 2/2 double striking samurai, which is pretty good, especially with the last level in Caretaker's Talent, because that gives our creature tokens +2/+2, and an Archangel can make that 2+1/+1 and flying. So now this thing is a double striking gigantic flying creature that our opponent can't really stop. That's pretty fun. And then the -4 is of course the sacrificing board wipe, which is also really good to go against or go around indestructible potentially creatures. So that is, but we only have 1/6 drops in the deck. You don't really want to curve to 6 drops anyways, so that's kind of the idea. Now we are a control deck, so 25 lands. We don't really need 26 lands in a lot of, unlike a lot of control decks, because we do kind of curve out to 5, right? The 6 you don't have to worry too much. So we got 13 planks, 4 demolition fields, and then 2 Fountainports and 2 Mirrex to ensure that we have these, you know, utility lands to make tokens that Caretaker's Talent then can draw us cards. We also have 4 Second Citadel to make sure that our utility lands cost actually less mana to activate, because Second Citadel adds 2 to activate utility lands abilities. So that's the whole idea of the control deck. Now let's go into the games. Alright, our opponent is... Call me... Mr. Guy. Okay. And you gotta put the capitalizations. We're gonna go first. 1 planks for 1 lay down arm, huh? Well, let's hope our opponent will have 1 drops, I guess. We'll see what happens. Maybe the 4th season of Burrows makes this makes this deck's mana base a little bit wonky, but hopefully we can get there. We start with the Citadel on white. Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy is playing red. He has Swiss Sphere. Mr. Guy has a Swiss Sphere. His arm needs to lay down. There we go. Still have a Smite. Still got it going on. He plots. Well then. Mr. Plotty McPlotterson. Let's see how many times you can plot. He's got green too. Nothing. Well, guess what? 3 mana can make a Mirrex stop. It's not even fair. 4 lands. We're gonna kill him with poison. He's looking at the land base saying, what the heck? How did he tap 2 lands and activate his Mirrex? Must be a cheat. Our opponent's a cheat. Lick Joshua off. You're gonna pump it somehow, right? What does this do? +2/+2. Felonious Rage. Loran Bang Splitter. It's a pretty big creature right there. Alright, get out of here, you. What? I'm confused. Why wouldn't it let me select? Oh no, a Snakeskin Veil. It would be a shame if I got another one of these. And I do. Haha, GG, you stupid deck. Get out. Alright, our opponent is Villic. Hello, my name is Villic. Cool. Villic goes fast. Villic always goes fast. Well, Karn Avatar, no sleeves, 100% mono red. We have Smite. Can't really play on turn 1 unless I play a Plains. But then I can't get lost on turn 2, and that's even scarier. Going second, huh? I mean, I don't think I can get a better hand, so let's just hold on to it. So I'll play this Mountain, and we're gonna decide. Ooh, not a Mountain. That surprises me a lot because of the no sleeves. Usually people with no sleeves are, you know, Donkey Bring. Okay, never mind. Might as well be Donkey Bring. Just Spyglass Siren into a tap land. Yeah, you got it. Well, I don't think it's gonna matter if I don't draw a land here. So, 25 lands, mana screwed. What a game. Oh, he's gonna map? What if I give him 2 maps? Nah. Oh man, that's a good map for him. But you never know, right? Maybe he has other lands. Feels like he has other lands. Otherwise he wouldn't be hesitating on which land to play. We are gonna smite here. No reason not to. Okay, we do get a land. Land number 3, not gonna help because I got 2 drops and I got 4 drops. So I need land number 4 here for anything to happen, which... Shelly. Wow. Can I get land number 4? I cannot get land number 4. So... Well... we were getting somewhere and then we weren't. The only thing I can hope is play a 5-drop. Another Shelly. That's not a 5-drop. It's gonna map? Okay, good. No lands for you. Get out. Get a tap land. Alright, we draw 3 Sunken Citadels. That we definitely has drawn all those. Is it Shoulder time again? It is Shoulder time again. That's 5 lands. I can make 3 1/1s and exile his Shoulder. Anything I can even bring back? Nothing I can bring back, right? I make 3 1/1s. What does that do? Jeff Bezos? What does Jeff Bezos do? He's tapped out. He's blue deck. He definitely will kind of curve the Sheldred into WinCon. So, you know what? I'll give him a card here. Trade a card for Sheldred isn't that bad, right? It's not ideal, but it's something I can live with. Now I have so many cards that Jeff Bezos is going to give me a card and a treasure and some life. If he kills all these 1/1s with a creature, I also get a creature. No, actually, for me to get fish, he has to put 2 creatures on board while killing 3 of mine. Okay, okay, whatever. I was mana screwed, you loser. Vidic does not want to play. Alright, our opponent is Lego Stone. Lego my egos, more like. Opponent goes first. Yeah, no playing's an opener. We do have a Demolition Field that can get us a playing, but huh. This is actually a pretty bad hand. I'm gonna mulligan. It's not good. It's not great here. Alright, this is... I don't think it's better, but we're not gonna mulligan anymore, so... Put back an Eternal Wonder. I wish we still have a Wandering Emperor, but... Of course it's not. It was not meant to be. White. Alright, looks... Well, I thought it was an Innkeeper Talons deck, but there's white, so I'm not sure what it is anymore. But that's fine. We will... Play it slow. Play it very slow. Alright, our opponent has nothing. He's giving us a lot of time. Do we Fountainport Mirrex here? I think Mirrex is fine, right? Our opponent's giving us nothing, so we're gonna give him nothing. Look at the Mirrex. You got the Destruction Lands. No? Alright, well then we have a cut down target for you. He's gonna cut this down? Not yet. Well, we're about to take 4 from the Restless Cottage, unfortunately. Can't kill it. I don't know if there's anything in this deck that can kill it. But I guess that's fine. We don't have anything in the graveyard, and we can take a few hits, so it's not the end of the world. Cornucopia. That's annoying. Play a tap land. Alright, what do we do here? Do we make a treasure? Potentially ramp ourselves? Do we make another Mirrex token? I do want to Soul Partition the Cornucopia, because it's funny and it's annoying. But he's got 2 mana here, right? I also want to make a treasure, honestly. Treasure's not so bad. I like ramp. He can definitely cut down my might, which, I mean, it's something. Right, and the Cornucopia paying 5 for it, which definitely holds him back for a while. Treasure token's pretty nice. It ramps me for next turn where I can go Soul Partition plus something. I don't know, do I go with anything else here? The Caretaker's Talent. He really wants to kill the Citadel. It's a good card. Terra Thunder, whoa. Okay, that was very aggressive. Very aggressive indeed. Do we just Soul Partition the Cornucopia? If he spent 5 mana playing it, do I get anywhere with it? I get back to the same term as before. He would still have the Cornucopia, and nothing else would have changed. So I don't like that one bit. So let's go with the Soul Partition. Yeah, let's go with the Soul Partition. And we will also have our talent out. We're going to be very talented. Actually, I should have played the Caretaker's Talents first. So I just recognized one thing. If I play the Caretaker's Talent first, I can actually copy the treasure, which draws me a card. It's not really much, right? But if it draws me a card, I can do something with it. So now I actually have nothing else I can do. I can make a Mirrex, but then I only draw 1 card. Would it be better to make a Mirrex token or just to make a treasure token then? Well, either way, I only draw 1 card, and if it's not a land, I don't get to play anything, so let's go for it. It's not a land. I don't get to play anything. Alright. Unfortunately, our opponent is not an aggro deck. Look at all these anti-aggro cards. None of these cards are going to help here. If this was Season of Burrow, I don't know if that would have helped either. Well, This helps me a bit, honestly. I'm very happy that our opponent did that, because there's a few ways I can get around this, right? I can definitely Sunfall it, or I can temporarily lock down it. There's 6 1/1s. Maybe I just Sunfall it, right? I also draw a card. And I make a 6/6. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. He hit me for 4. Not sure if that's where he wants to go, but he can go that way. Creates a food. Okay. You got it. I don't think he's gonna crack the food, right? That would be dumb. He taps out? Taps out for me. Huzzah! I guess he didn't absolutely tap out, but might as well be a tap out. I want to keep it wide open. Let's activate so we can attack him. Take 6. Don't think I need to level to level 2, right? What am I going to use the mana for? Let's see. 2 mana either for the Fountainport or the Demolition Field. I don't think I'm going to level, so I'm going to keep this as is. Copying a treasure here really isn't doing much, so I can hold back. Although I don't draw a card that turn. That might have been why I should have... No, I have 7 cards. I would have discarded. He's definitely not turning the Cottage Life this turn. That would not be smart. Alright, he Sunfalls for 1. Or he can Sunfall for 0, honestly. If I sack this... do I want to sack this? Token to draw a card? I draw a card either way, right? If I make a token? So at least this way, he does not get a 1/1. He gets a 0/0. Which does not hurt me at all. That's a nice 0/0. What else you got? Okay. Lay down arms. Can get something. Elspeth Smite probably won't get anything here. So, do we Jeff Bezos? Do we just hold back and make a 1/1? I guess if we're gonna hold back and make a 1/1, I might as well do this right now. I draw another card this way. Do I want a temporary lockdown at all, even? Like, against this deck? I don't know if lockdowns do anything. Oh, it does. It does with the White Sun's Twilight, right? Does the cut down thing. It's just sack it to draw a card. No, actually, you know what? You kill it. It's fine. I don't need to draw this card. You got this. I don't want to draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard 2 cards. Whereas in right now, if I just don't do anything, I can still make a token at the end of turn. Watch it dice. Does he not know how the incubator works? Alright, go to end turn here. We'll get rid of a Smite. Gotta get rid of 2 cards. Oh man. Jeff Bezos, you're gonna have to go. Here he comes. Alright, we can just kill it this way. But he gets a land if we kill it this way, right? Let's give him some tokens. You might want them tokens. If I kill it this way... I mean, either way, I don't get anything, so... Let's kill it with a get lost. He didn't activate the other cottage. That helps. Another Soul Partition. Alright, let's see how many cut downs he has. How many lands do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Too many lands. I mean, not enough lands. Too many cards. Let's hope I draw a land. Maybe I draw a land here. Ready for another cut down? Looks like there's a stick. I don't know what that stick is. Also, I instantly regret doing this. I think a better play would have been just to level 2 and then copy this treasure. That would have been fun, because that only cost me 1 mana, and I can hold up everything else. And I get my card draw anyways this turn from the Caretaker's Talent. So that would have been a better play, but obviously it's not what I made. So at least I drew a land. Now I got a 1/1 token. I'm not going to use this 1/1 for the win, so I don't really have to worry about him killing it before I get to level 2. I just need to draw more lands. Deadly cover up? What is he going to cover up here? I don't really have anything that makes me worry. So you got it. You cover this up. You cover this up real nice. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes me want to use the Fountainport. In fact, I will use the Fountain. You know what? Nah. I'm going to create a creature this way. There's nothing he can cover up that well. He can take my Get Lost. He doesn't. He takes the Jeff Bezos. It's fine. That's the least useful card against his deck, so I'm happy he took that out. If that's all he wanted to do. He can see my hand and just get demoralized, because that's a lot of control elements. Oh boy. That is a lot of control elements. But what else would you like to do, opponent? I can make a treasure, but at a cost of a treasure, that's not smart. Let's get some fish. He's probably got ways to make me sack, right? Like I would not. I want to be surprised if he has a way to get rid of Archangel Elspeth here. So maybe that would be a good reason to hold back on Archangel. But I have 2 Archangels. So if he has another deadly cover up, it doesn't really get to me too bad. Either way, I think I'm going to attack first. Go fishy fish. I'm not Mirrexing here, so let's make ourselves an Archangel. We like those Archangels, don't we? Do we like those Archangels? Hello, little kitty. Oh, that's cute. He's really thinking about it now. Let me draw a card, and then I have to immediately discard it. I can discard a land. I'm okay with that. I have enough lands where discarding a land doesn't hurt me too much. This unfortunately is all non-land permanents. Sunfall! Oh no, my 1/1s. Okay, well, he's gonna make a 2/2. I guess it is what it is. Is there any way I can stop that? I can sacrifice one of these to draw a card. What else can I do? Gonna have to do it. So give him a 1/1 instead of a 2/2. How many cards I have left? 35? Ah, that's plenty. He's running out of cards. I got a handful of cards. Wonder what he's gonna do here. Another land. Cool. Here's your 1/1. What else would you like to do, huh? Would you like to turn that life to attack me? Of course not. Really? An incubator? Before it can attack? I guess. That makes sense. That's a free card draw. That's pretty good for him. You already play land, right? That Mirrex came into play this turn for sure because it's still on any mana. Oh, jeez. Okay. So, opponent draws 2 cards with the treasure maps that I gave him, or the map tokens I gave him. Do I want to do anything here? Not really. Another Caretaker's Talent. I'm actually afraid of overdrawing because of this, but not that afraid. We draw. Fountainport. Probably should have held back on playing the Planks, honestly, but I'm just going to play my cards out. It's going to destroy. I don't want to draw too many cards, honestly. It feels bad. Let's get this out here. Gives me hexproof. And should I just copy a treasure? It's no longer live, right? So copying a treasure here. I don't need to draw any more cards, so I'm going to copy this guy. I have hexproof, but I don't have deadly cover-up proof, and that's definitely in their deck, so let's see what happens. I do have Archangel Elspeth -6 live, not that it hits anything here. Oh, another Sunfall. What do you know? Okay, I guess I'll sack a token and draw a card. Probably justification for getting a treasure instead of a 1/1 here, but it's not really doing anything to me either. Transforms. Taps his Mirrex to transform. Okay. Definitely things that you can do, but do them badly. Let's... Demolition Field does not come back. Non-land permanents. Which I don't have any right now. Too many Sunfalls. So... I still... Do I want to kill this 2/2? Do I really care about killing this 2/2? I can chump for days. Right? So we will just pass. Well, we're not going to pass. We're going to make a Mirrex token. Another Archangel, another Get Lost. Definitely going to drop the Fountainport. What do we do here? We attack with the 1/1, he blocks it, then we temporary lockdown? It's not really great. I can level this up. That's also not really great, so... If I attack and he blocks, do I get to do anything? I'm locking this down, so might as well. You got it. Ooh, I only have 1 lockdown, so I don't know if I want to use it on this tiny token here. That's not really worth the value. Let's... get another Caretaker's Talent. Let's tap a Fountainport for this. Get another Caretaker's Talent. And we will level this to level 2. Copy a treasure. Draws me 2 cards. Too many cards! Also, Smite's pretty good. Let's make a 1/1. And we will just end turn here. Definitely start dropping cards. I gotta discard 3 cards. Discard 1. I like Get Lost, right? I don't think I need an Elspeth here because I already have 1 on board, and I don't think it's dying anytime soon. What else do I drop? Another Caretaker's Talent. The 3rd Talent. It's gonna overdraw me, so let's get rid of those. 3 Get Lost in hand. That's pretty fun, right? You want map tokens? You can get map tokens. Oh, can you get the map tokens? Oh, think of the map tokens you go. Caretaker's Talent. I guess we can bring that back if we wanted to, but we're probably not. Season of Burrows. He did exile my Metropolis Reformer, which goes very good with Season of Burrows. But this deck doesn't really target me in any way, so having Hexproof does not do much. I mean, Indestructible does, but all those Sunfalls are going to get me. There's 2 Sunfalls out, so there's 3 Sunfalls out. There's probably 1 more. Go for the Throats. On what? On 1/1. You got it. That's all you're gonna do? That can't be all you're gonna do, right? That's pathetic. Alright. My face. Not even Archangel Elspeth. Goodbye. Should I demo field a Mirrex here? I don't like the Mirrex, right? I want to get rid of it. I'm not as afraid of the cottage because I have 3 get lost, so let's get the Mirrex out of the way. You can make a 1/1 if you want. I can make 5 1/1s, but that will be very bad. I'm not going to do that. His Mirrex can block, so something I can remember. I also don't have much life gain other than the Elspeth, so I gotta be a little bit careful with my life total. Not that the Absent really is gonna ever get me. This has been a long game. Our opponent really want to drag this out. Is this a rage quit? I think it's a rage quit. Yeah. Hello? Don't rage quit. You're playing Absent. You want to play a dragged out game. It just so happens that your opponent also want to play a dragged out game? Like, what is it you're hoping to do here? I know you have a lot of removal probably stuck in your hand for the longest time and you feel salty about it, but so did I. I have a lot of removal in my hand and I could not sling any of them. You're seeing my hand? You're seeing half my hand? The other half is pretty much the same card. Just make that token. Come on. Jeez. Alright, finally. There you go. Let me get a Plains. Do I still have Plains? I should. There's 13 Plains in the deck, right? Let me take action for more Plains. I'm gonna make a Mirrex. Right? This guy can block. Mirrex can go through his blockers. Well, not go through his blocker. Go through his life total. I am gonna overdraw. 24 cards left. Yeesh. Alright. Kinda scary. Loran's pretty cool. I needed that Loran to do something. So Fountainport can give me another 1/1, but I don't want to use up all my treasure for that. Another temporary lockdown. So cool to have multiple lockdowns. It's got 1 card here. I still think I make this Soldier. Soldier Boy draws me 2 cards. Down to 22. Actually, no, down to 21, right? Yeah, 21. Another demo field. Cool, I want that. So now we go for the attack. So you have a cut down. Is that his last card? Which one? This one? Don't think I want to Loran the Cornucopia. Like what advantage do I get from that? Now our opponent does the rope things. Jesus. You're gonna play a slow deck, at least play it faster. I mean, this is kind of the worst kind of scenario. What in tarnation? Yeehaw? Nothing. Alright, our opponent sucks. It's not the slow play, it's the no interactions and the slow play that really makes people salty. It's so boring. Do something, come on. Alright, guess we will sit here till the end of time. Just gonna rope out. I mean, you saw the Demolition Field. Why would you turn your manland's life if you were not anticipating this? So our opponent's gonna rope out the whole turn just so that he can get a second poison counter. 8 more to go, but at least you can get this game over with. You finally quit. I think this deck is not good. The Absent Control, I played it. It's just not good in the current metagame because it doesn't do enough, right? Aggressively, it does not handle all the early game creatures. These board wipes don't do anything against turn 3 kills, and then late game it does not fight the value train on these insane cards like Caretaker Talon well enough, and it doesn't fight Innkeeper Talon well enough. All it has is the one Terra Thunder, and if there are multiple Innkeeper Talon, they definitely will Vraska you 1 turn to kill. So yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna GG him. Alright, am I doing anything else? Let's level one of these. Why not? We'll end turn and we'll drop the lockdown, we'll drop the other Caretaker's Talent, we'll drop another land. There we go. Our opponent definitely, salty rage quit the entire game out. Ah, he's still here. Looking at his cards. Pondering life. Look, I've played Absent Control before. It is frustrating. I get you. It is very frustrating. But you made the choice to play this deck, so you made your bed, you gotta lie in it. That's kind of the idea. We're not gonna kill you with lethal anytime soon, so you can still play it out. You have board wipes. Maybe I'll deck myself out. I have 2 Caretaker's Talents. They are gonna make me draw my whole deck, so that's definitely something. I also have 4 Seasonal Burrows, or at least 3. I don't remember how many I put in the deck, but that can help me get back Demolition Field, if nothing else. Just to kill his lands. Alright, finally, GG. Get out of here, you. Alright, our opponent is Pedeop. It's probably Pideop, but I like Pedeop. Cool, we get to go first with no color mana whatsoever. I don't know about this. No color mana? That's scary. Alright. Less scary, but still kind of scary, because we only have 2 lands this time. I will put back a Sunfall, because 2-lander. Actually, Caretaker's Talon? Not really going to be able to activate it anytime soon here. Don't know if this is going to matter at all. Frontliner? Okay. I honestly don't think any of the things I said before was going to matter. But I can shoot down the frontliner with Loran and Soul Partition whatever else he plays this turn. He's gonna play nothing. The Nuvas Insect Puta. Alright, so it is a whatchamacallit deck, right? A temple deck. If I get rid of the Novice Inspector, like, does that do anything? I can Soul Partition this. I can Soul Partition nothing. I feel like he wants to do the ramp thing, right? I have to Soul Partition something. This. Oh, I'm taking a 1. Do I take the 1? I can Soul Partition a frontliner and then break this. Pay 3 for a frontliner is pretty bad, right? But I can just break the frontliner altogether. Yeah, you know what? Fine. It's kind of tricky because I'm kind of worried I'm only on 3 lands here. 4 lands here. But Loran's got us the hookups. Keep him off the artifact for his lethal demolition. Of course, he can just play it anyways. Yeah, right? He just played it anyways. I don't know if what I was thinking, like, if any of that really mattered. I don't know if there's a world out there where that attack would have triggered something else. Nah, I don't think so. Alright, whoa, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a good card. Oh, hey, we get to draw a card too? That's insane. Alright, we get 2 1/1s, we get to draw a card. And we gain 4 life. Back to 20. And we draw the land needed for Sunfall. I think everything's shaping up pretty well. Don't think I want to give him cards, but you never know. Case. He's gonna case out Jeff Bezos. That's so mean. Alright. What else you got? All in attack. No, probably a 9 Aaron. No 9 Aaron? What? Come on. You can do better than that. I'm at 20. This is all you're going to do? Alright, he's holding back 2 cards, which is interesting. Does it matter if I have an 8-8 or a 7-7 or a 6-6? I think that might matter. Because if I block, right? If I block here, I mean, I'm only taking 4. I go back to 16. It's not the end of the world. He wants to trigger the case. So, yeah, he's got that going on. And why don't you draw a card? Why don't you shut up too? I'm not giving him another card. Now I have a 7-7. And he has no board. Cool. Okay. You have done your requisition raid. What else would you like to do? I don't think he can case a Reformer. Another land is no fun. If I do this, I won't be able to do this. If I do this, I can break his Buviac. Guess that's something. Okay, yeah, that's, you know, 2 3-mana play versus a 4-mana play without anything else. Now I have hexproof. You can't target me. Now with your whole deck, all those target your opponent cards in your deck does not work. Yep, that's exactly what this card does. You want to turn your Restless Buviac life? You do? Well, it's gone. Reading the card explains the card. We only draw planes here. The whole deck was just planes. That's it? That was all of your cards? Nah, that's not very nice. What do we have here? Jeff Bezos does not come back with Elspeth. So... just make it a creature you can't really kill. Vigilance. Oh no, humans. Well, let's get talented. Let's get talented. Oh boy. This definitely is talented. Let's copy this. Draw me another card. Nice. White. Take the 4. Alright. Pi Day OP? How OP are you? Here comes a out of nowhere Sunfall. No, that's just sad. A Night Aaron that's not convoked. Look at the top 6 and just put them all back. Yep. Alright, lay down for 1. Lay down for 1. I think I just want a minus here, right? Draw 2 cards. Those are some cards to be drawn.
You've earned my blessing.
I have earned their blessing. So that's a pretty big board here. I can make an even bigger board and just win. I can't lay down arm, but do I really care? There you go. Would you like to block a 5/4? You blocked it. Good job. I am now at 28. Novice Inspector. Draw your card. GG. Somehow he draws a Sunfall. Just watch. Out of nowhere, a Sunfall. Out of nowhere, an Emo Dame's Recruiter. I mean, I still fly, so I don't know what the point of that is. I fly. Goodbye. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen those games, how does this feel? I gotta say, I played 5 games, I won 4 of them, but one of those games lasted so long that I lost all of my stamina. But we won. That's all that matters. This control deck is very long-lasting. I don't know how to say it. Grindy. It definitely can put up the works against our opponent. But what I have noticed was that it did struggle against the Forge deck. Even though I teched this against the Forge deck, I thought it was going to beat the Forge deck. It didn't. The problem with that against that game that I did not show basically was that they had a Forge on turn 3 and they keep pumping into it, and I did not draw any of my Soul Partition. I did not draw Loran, and by the end that Forge was like a 10 token and it just killed us with a Forge. That was really frustrating because I didn't have cards to tech against them, but I didn't draw it, and those are the scenarios that will happen. I think if I were to make any edits, I might take out a temporary lockdown and adding another Loran or another thing that destroys artifacts. I definitely want to kill some artifacts because everything here can deal with creatures or enchantments or planeswalkers, but no artifacts. So maybe I'm even going to cut the Wandering Emperor or the Eternal Wonder and cut a temporary lockdown and just put in 2 Bovine Interventions. Nobody ever see that coming, but Bovine Interventions can kill artifacts and other creatures. We don't really need the Emperor for the win con. You see, every game that we won was not off the back of the Emperor. A lot of times our opponent just get grinded out. Sometimes our opponent used up all their value on one card and then we killed it. We killed it with an Elspeth Smite, or we killed it with a Get Lost, or sometimes we're just going to kill them with an Archangel Elspeth's abilities. The +1 and the -2 are just going to constantly put things on board until our opponent's dead. So yeah, I think the Eternal Wonder probably can go, and then 1 temporary lockdown can go. Well, we need more artifact interactions. And then this is my sort of safe haven from the current craziness in Standard, because yeah, best of 3 is fine. Best of 3 has a lot of strategies going on that are valid, but best of 1, it's so hard to make a deck for best of 1 because you have to have enough early game interactions against those super aggressive fling decks while keeping up artifact and enchantment interactions against the Forge Boros Token deck, right? So the Boros Token deck is not good. It is such a bad deck. I don't know why everyone thinks it's good. It's only good because nobody has caught up to the fact that you need artifact and enchantment interactions. And if you have artifact and enchantment interactions in your deck, you basically lock down that whole deck. But Farewell has rotated out, so we had to figure out a better thing. There's a lot of green cards that does that, and there's a lot of white cards that does that, which kind of limits the decks that we're allowed to play to just green and white. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.